next topic I wanted to talk to is the luxury real estate market. There was an article out of New York that talked about how the top-end real estate market is a tipping point from sellers to a buyer's market. That's usually the first step of a real estate transition from a seller's market to a buyer's market. You start to see the pressure in the upper end, and then it kind of trickles down, and not like within weeks or months. Usually we're talking years here. But we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing an increase in the inventory of luxury home sales, more sellers putting their homes on the market, and not as many buyers, for those homes. It's one of the reasons why I'm excited when I hear more Chinese buyers jumping into our market, because that helps our luxury market. But our luxury market has started to trail off a little bit. We're seeing more inventory hitting the market, homes taking a little longer to sell, having to be a little bit more aggressively priced. And I think, again, when you have an aging population, you're seeing a lot of people now in those luxury homes saying, you know what, the kids are now off to college. I don't really need this 5,000 square foot house anymore. Let's buy a condo on the beach and then buy a home somewhere else, and kind of, so it's not necessarily selling out of a need or it's more selling out of a lifestyle change. And boomers are getting to that point where, their luxury homes are, not as effectively used anymore because the kids are, they don't need the space anymore.
What's the price point for luxury?
I would say in Tampa, my opinion of luxury market is above $1 million. I mean, it can vary. Like in some parts of town, it's maybe
in San Francisco, that's going to be a normal residential.
But if you look at here, I would say and it's not to say a $700,000 or $800,000 home isn't luxury. It's going to depend on the part of town. That's where real estate's so local. It's going to vary from neighborhood to neighborhood, but I think historically, $1 million plus is probably what we would consider our top end market. Compared to New York, it's probably $5 million.
Right. I was thinking 1.5 here, but one is probably.
I think one's a good place. So we're definitely seeing some changes in that segment of the market. And I think that will trickle down into some other price ranges and other things, but again, a lot of that has to do with an aging population and lifestyle changes with that aging population and wanting to downsize, so to speak. So the question becomes whether or not there's enough younger population getting older, having an income increase to start to pick up some of those homes that are being sold, or Chinese buyers or out of the area buyers, whatever it is that keep those homes selling. But we've had to be more conscientious about pricing higher end homes by looking at the saturation rates, which start to trail off a little bit. And there's parts of when we talk about this, it's funny because you'll have someone who will take what you say out of context, or will say, oh, but that's not happening here. On my street, everything's flying off the shelf. When we talk about stuff on here, it doesn't mean it applies to everybody or every street. There are neighborhoods where luxury market's still kicking butt right now. But there are also neighborhoods where it's a lot more neighborhoods where it's not. So it's not as if it encompasses everything, but we're seeing that slowdown, and I think this article talked about it, and I think that's the case. I think that we're seeing a slowdown, so to speak, in higher end homes. And that doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean you shouldn't sell. It doesn't mean you shouldn't buy. It shouldn't scare you. It just means it's an opportunity, and you have to pay attention to it. And it certainly doesn't mean luxury homes aren't selling, because they are. They're just selling for maybe a little bit lower prices and a little bit more off of asking price, and there maybe aren't as many of them selling with how many of them are on the market. And if you're looking for one of the best bargains in the marketplace, you can go to our website at TampaBaySmokingDeals.com. You can also check out SearchMLSTampa.com. Up at the top at SearchMLSTampa.com, you can see a luxury homes list where you can click on luxury homes and you can search the entire MLS on there. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com historically have old data. If you go to Zillow, you're going to find listings that have already sold. You're going to find homes that aren't even on the market anymore, because they get their data through a data feed. Their data isn't directly from the MLS instantly like ours at SearchMLSTampa.com. So if you've been on one of those websites and been frustrated that you found a home that's already sold, it's a pretty common complaint. It's why a lot of realtors like us have set up our own page where our customers can access and search the entire MLS. You can see all of our listings on that page as well. So again, SearchMLSTampa.com. Search all the listings, and that's not just Tampa. That's St. Pete, Clearwater, Oldsmar, West Chase, Sarasota, Manatee, Bradenton, Lutz, Land O'Lakes. I mean, every county in the Tampa Bay area, you can check out again at searchmlstampa.com. So we're going to continue our conversation. There's multiple, a few other articles we're going to get to in the last segment, and we're going to continue this conversation with David Diaz from Waterstone Mortgage and Richard Vazquez with Artisan Insurance after a quick break here on the Duncan Duo Show on 970 WFLA.